Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. I'm Jordan Sharp, and it is Friday. The injury reports are out, and there has been some very, very big line movement here throughout the week, especially one game that we've seen a ton of movement in here over the last couple of hours. But we'll start it off with one of the earlier contests here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans, a line that opened up at -3.5 in favor of the Texans, but for some reason has moved all the way up to -6.5. And while I'm not quite ready to label the Bucs a value, it could be very intriguing to see what they could do potentially against this squad. Even though I think Ryan Mallett is due for a pretty good game, the fact that he's still going to be without Arian Foster I think is huge. And the fact that that offensive line is having some really big injury problems right now I think could play into the Bucs' hands here. At 6.5, the line's kind of a wash for me at this point, but I would not be too certain of the Houston Texans, much like my friend Swinging Johnson is this week, who's laying the points with Houston here. I think that if their defense shows up, they're definitely going to win the game. But Tampa Bay should play this one tough, despite the fact that their defense isn't that great. I could easily see a closer game than 6.5 points, however. Now, the big mover of the week obviously just hit the wire here that Drew Brees will not play this week. Luke McCown will be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And that's not going to be an easy matchup here as they're hitting into Carolina, a place where they have lost their last 3 ATS in a row here. And the Carolina Panthers defense is playing out of their minds right now against a backup quarterback and against an offense that was already struggling. The NFL odds have moved from -3 to 3.5 all the way up to -8 in some instances and even higher at some places. For instance, at 5 dimes, they have the line all the way up at -9.5 with +105 odds in favor of the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton might go crazy in this one against New Orleans Saints defense, despite the fact that his offense obviously has been limited in some aspects as well so far this season. Don't be surprised if you see the Carolina Panthers run away with this one early against the Saints offense that, for lack of a better term, has been very, very disappointing here to start the season. Now, finally, another one here, just a slight mover in this one, nothing compared to the first two, but the Bengals and the Ravens here from Baltimore this week. Really good AFC North divisional battle in this one. Baltimore really, really needs a win here, and they've actually moved up in the odds from -1.5 to -2.5. Their defense has been very good this season, despite losing Terrell Suggs. Their offense is going to be the question here in this one against the Bengals defense that's very balanced and against an offense here that also has a lot of upside here. A.J. Green, Tyler Eifert playing very well. Andy Dalton actually looks very good this season so far to start the year. Well, whether or not that holds up throughout the entire year remains to be seen. However, I think the Baltimore Ravens here could be in trouble if they do not bring that offense to them here at home. They have had a couple of really tough games to start the season, some really tough road matchup, but I think the Ravens here at 2.5, if you like them, still hold the value that they did at -1.5. That is your look at the line movement for week number 3. Best of luck to you on all your NFL picks this week. Make sure you check out a couple of my NFL plays coming out later in the weekend, but until then, for SBR Forum videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.